Once in a blue moon, a piece of media comes along that hits you on such a deep personal level that it stays with you forever. It grabs you by the heart, by the soul, and shakes loose every excuse you've ever made for not living the life you want. Mind Game by Masaaki Yuasa did exactly that. It's not just another anime movie, it's a full body experience. A creative explosion that refuses to sit still, follow rules, or fit in any box you try to put it in. Each scene is unpredictable, philosophical, loud, crazy, sometimes ugly, sometimes beautiful, and somehow it works. But buried beneath all that chaos is one moment, one scene, one wild and possibly emotional leap that has stuck with me ever since I first saw it. The escape from the belly of the whale, the climax of the movie. A 6-minute scene that captures what it means to really be alive. This is a story about art, fear, hesitation, and the moment we choose to break free from it all. Let's talk about why this whale escape might just be the most inspirational scene in animation history. Hi, I'm Sway, and I like anime. Mind Game might be the most impressively chaotic and artistic anime film I've ever seen. At its core, Mind Game is about Nishi, a directionless 20-something with a childhood crush and zero control over his life. He acts like he's confident and in charge, but everything he does says otherwise. Then one night, everything falls apart. He dies, literally. And that's when things start to get really weird. He meets God, he argues, he panics, he begs for this not to be the end. And somehow, he gets it. He's sent back. A do-over. And for the first time in his life, Nishi decides he's done hesitating. He's going to live fully, with no regrets. From that moment on, the film becomes a full-blown sprint. Through love, violence, sex, absurdity, philosophy, and literal whales. Every frame is in motion. Every scene dares you to keep up. Visually, Mind Game is unique in every sense of the word. It throws out the idea of consistency, mixing animation styles, camera angles, and editing techniques as if it's remixing itself in real time. I was blown away by every frame because every frame was unique. Every frame got experimental and tried something new. It was something I've never seen before. Beneath all the madness, Mind Game is deeply personal. It's about regret, fear, and a terrifying freedom of realizing that life, real life, is messy and beautiful and gone before you know it. After all the chaos, violence, and near-death insanity, Mind Game does something unexpected. It slows down. The characters are swallowed whole by a giant whale, and for a while, nothing really happens. Trapped in the whale's belly, Nishi, Mion, and Yan settle into a strange new rhythm and slowly adjust. Days pass, then weeks, then months. It seems like life stuck in this whale isn't all that bad. They built a little home, they laugh, they dream. It's peaceful, almost cozy. But under that peace is something else, a question hanging in the air. Is this it? Is comfort enough when you know there's more out there? When you know what you're capable of if you just tried? Each character begins to reflect on their past, on the choices they didn't make, on the lives they could have lived. The whale becomes more than a place. It becomes a metaphor. A self-imposed prison where the fear of failure feels safer than the risk of living. And that's when the pressure starts to build. Not from the outside, but from within. The need to escape isn't logical, it's instinctive, it's emotional. It's the soul demanding to move forward, even if it means tearing everything apart. Because deep down, they all know the truth. If they don't try now, they never will. As they make one last desperate attempt to escape the whale, what follows are the most inspiring 6 minutes I've ever seen. Moments that moved me more deeply than anything else in anime or in any form of media. There's no plan, no clear way out. But Nishi looks up and suddenly, doing nothing becomes more terrifying than trying the impossible. So they act, they row, they climb, they run, they fall, they try again. The whale's insides twist and stretch like a living maze, but they don't stop. They can't stop. Everything is on the line in this moment. If they hesitate for even a fraction of a second, they'll fail and lose any hope of being able to live. Really live. It's now or never. They pour every last ounce of strength, spirit, and desperation into this escape. As the pounding drums build in intensity, they push forward with everything they've got. And I mean everything they've got. We see flashbacks of their lives as kids that help them for this specific moment. And this isn't a clean Hollywood escape. It's messy, it's exhausting, it's pure human instinct crashing against every obstacle in the way. And then the animation. Oh boy, the animation just explodes. Lifelike movement, frantic scribbles, raw black and white sketches. The animation is going so hard. It's as if the film itself is tearing at its boundaries, struggling to break free alongside them. Then, at the peak of chaos, using even literal atoms to climb, it happens. This isn't just an escape from the whale. It's an escape from comfort, from fear, from every excuse they've ever made for not moving forward. It's not beautiful in the traditional sense, it's not graceful, but it's real. It's raw. It's freedom. They've made it out, not just from the whale, but from who they were when they went in. So why does this scene hit so hard? Because it's not about heroes, it's not about destiny, it's about ordinary people, scared, flawed, uncertain, who decide that staying still is no longer an option. The beauty of the whale escape isn't how clean it is, it's about how real it feels. Every moment is clumsy, every climb is desperate. It's life at its most raw, its most honest. Nothing is polished, and that's the point. This is the embodiment of pushing forward despite the odds, of throwing yourself towards something better, even if you don't know where you're gonna land. Critics have called it chaotic, experimental, overwhelming, but for me, it's a wake-up call. A visual scream that says, stop waiting, start living. It's not about whether you win, it's about the fight. The decision to act, to change, to leap even when everything inside you says, don't. The first time I watched this scene, I didn't fully understand why it hit me so hard. I just knew something inside me moved. It wasn't just the visuals or the music or the chaos. It was the feeling, that desperate, defiant energy that says, you're still here, you're still alive, so what are you waiting for? Life is too precious. Life is too short. So start living. There have been times in my life, maybe in yours too, where I felt stuck, trapped by fear or failure or just stagnation. And Mind Game in its messy brilliance reminded me that sometimes the only way forward is to stop thinking and go for it. It's been over 20 years since Mind Game was released, and somehow it still feels ahead of its time. It's not a film for everyone. It's weird, it's abrasive, it breaks every rule on purpose. But for those who connect with it, Mind Game becomes something deeply personal, something unforgettable. It's about that moment when fear loses, when life becomes louder than doubt, when you stop asking yourself if you're ready and just start living. So if you're watching this and feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or afraid to take that next step, let this film and this scene be your reminder. It's time to escape from your whale and start truly living. And if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what movie you want me to talk about. And that's it, so peace.